There we go.
We have to pretend like we know each other.
Oh, excuse me, dear. Miss, excuse me? Excuse me.
Now that I have hair, I've decided to become completely
Oh, that's
insufferable
right. It is mad long. Mad long.
And it's only getting worse.
Nice. That's nice.
I can actually like style it and it'll start to look like an intentional haircut.
You can actually put your hands through your hair instead of on top of your hair? Nice.
I don't know who this person is for, but my hair used to be bald, so...
Yeah. Also, I'll find you pictures.
Yeah.
What up, party people? It's the Wordman Gary Lime. This is the Wordman Friend of a Friend game show. And this particular one, we're doing it here for a very special reason. So this goes out to my good friend, Mr. Thanddnes Palmer.
That is such a cool name.
Oh, he's a fucking trumpet player. Completely lives up to the name.
I feel like you'd have to if you have a name.
Oh, if you got a name like Thanddnes, yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta play the trumpet.
Do people call him Thad for short?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Call him Thad for short. He even spells it weird. There's there's an N in there and 2 D's. And it's
EUX.
You know what? It's funny. I have his number in my phone, and I had to give him my phone to type it in because my phone kept auto-correcting it incorrectly.
To cauliflower skeleton.
I was just like, I went, Thad, put this in yourself. I'm tired of doing this wrong.
Yeah.
He's like, all right. But the reason is it's cool that we're doing it here. So we are standing, I'm sure this looks really familiar to you, Mr. Thad. We are standing outside of the new...
Arden Nail NYC.
Beam Street. We are standing outside the new school where Thad is a graduate.
Nice. A graduate trumpet player.
A graduate from the jazz program here at the new school. He's an exceptional trumpet. Like, it's you know what's annoying about how good of a trumpet player he is? Is that he's so humble about it that it just pisses me the fuck off to know. Because he'll be like, oh, nah, I'm all right, man. You're not playing. You know, I'm like, you don't just play if you go to jazz college and get a degree.
In New York.
In New York, yeah. I was like, you don't do that. And he goes, yeah, well, I mean, there's people who play better than me, but I'm all right. And then I go see this. Yeah, exactly. I was like, yeah, like, did they get degrees too? And he goes, yeah. And I was like, so you mean your peers? I was like, yeah, no, you can go fuck yourself, Thad. So yeah, that's why we don't like Thad anymore. So this video's over. I don't like Thad anymore.
See you later.
So, but yeah, Thad went to school right around here. We actually stopped here because we went to go to the Quad Cinema.
Which is maybe in a new location and maybe renovated. It seemed farther away than it
I
usually.
remember it being in a different
And it used to have a marquee that it does not have anymore.
Yeah, I do remember the marquee. That's right.
Yeah.
I do remember the marquee.
Yeah.
But,
something strange is afoot at the
yeah,
Quad.
but it was there, and we just got back from seeing the piano lesson. It was
Excellent movie.
I liked
Excellent
it very much.
play.
Yeah, it's my personal favorite play, and I was very excited about it. But we just got back from seeing that. But this is the Wordman Friend of Friend game show. I have to explain how the game works. I don't think Thad knows how the game works. I don't think he does.
So this is the Wordman.
Yeah, so this is
I'm
Gary.
a friend of a friend.
So
you here are the friend.
Yes. I have a bag of stuff here for you, Mr. Thad. But since you're not here, what we're going to do is making a game show out of it. So I'm going to ask my friend Cailie a question. Now, if Cailie gets the question right, you get the bag of stuff. If Cailie gets the question wrong, I get the bag of stuff, and she has promised to give me mandolin lessons. That's right. That's
I'll even shave my head again.
Fun fact that I don't think you know. Excellent mandolin player, known as the Maven of the mandolin, all throughout New York. Also plays the guitar, the concertino, and the piano. And excellent. You also teach.
I do.
So Dad's now teaching as well.
Excellent.
So excellent. You know that's. What's the joke about algebra teachers? You know, we teach algebra so that we can have algebra teachers.
Yeah.
we grow musicians so that we can teach musicians.
Yeah.
But again,
it's the circle of life. It's gotta, complete
that's
itself.
how it works. Yep.
Yeah.
But again, I have to. She has to get this question right. Otherwise, she's got to give me mandolin lessons, and I get to keep the stuff. But before we can ask the question, we have to see what's in the bag for you, because you got to see what it is you're playing for before you do that. So if you would be good enough to hold the camera, I think it'd be better if you do this.
Move my hand.
I'm gonna move over here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
okay.
move over here. How's that work? Oh shit, that works better.
Okay, I'm gonna just do
we
this.
We have really, I say this all the time, we have really good album cover energy. Like every time I see random photos of us.
Such good album. Like, oh.
That's what I'm saying. Every time we bring something together, it's like, oh, they got a new album coming out.
The one where you're laughing and I'm flipping off the camera, that one's really good.
That's definitely like, we got
the one with the upside down stop hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Also,
you know what? I'm not the only one who thinks this.
Yeah.
I was always the only one who thought this. Thad, let me tell you what I got in this bag here for you.
What do you got in this bag here for?
First thing is an empty bottle of ginger ale. That's
Ooh.
actually mine. But we're going to
Are you
move that
putting
over
it in
there.
my bag?
And I'm putting it in her
Okay.
bag because I don't feel like carrying it.
Now it has become my empty bottle. That's right.
All right, so, really random thing. This is called Podolo. It is by L.P. Hartley. It's a scary story. So there is this old British tradition of telling ghost stories on Christmas. This tradition goes back to like the 1600s.
Christmas is goth as fuck.
It is. Dead people crazy.
Yeah.
That kind of worked. but it's a really long tradition of like people getting together and telling ghost stories. It's very common in England and Britain tradition. But this one company started putting out these small little short stories, and it's only like, you see how small it is, that are just ghost stories to be read over Christmas or whatever. This is one about a couple that go to an island and there's a cat. Bless you.
Thank you. I got Charles Dickens last year.
That's right, you got the Charles Dickens one, I forgot, yeah. And they're designed by the cat named Seth. You actually know who Seth is. You used to sell his comics.
And we only refer to him as the cat named Seth. It's like the full title.
Like a Tribe Called Quest?
Yeah.
No, Seth, he's a comic book illustrator. Thad, I think, has probably sold his stuff because Thad used to work at Anyone Comics. Or
Nice.
still does. I don't know what you do. But yeah. Anyhow, it's a really cool, fun little short story. Unless it's got cats in it, so I don't know how you feel about cats, but there you are. Next thing I got in here for you. So, Thad told me this really, really funny story about a gig he had where he had to play outside in January. And it was so cold.
Yeah.
And he's like, my lips froze.
It's got to be hard on the fingers.
That's funny you mentioned that.
Yeah.
So it was a hilarious story because he's like, I'm standing there. And Thad tells stories really well too. So Thad's like, I'm standing there for like 35 minutes waiting for my cue. And then they forget my cue.
No.
It's great. I can't do the story justice. Thad, I don't know if you remember. It's a great story you told me about playing for this band.
I am just aggravated hearing that.
Right? Yeah, because again, you're talking to this is a fellow musician over here. So like, if there's anyone who understands your plight, it's
I
Cailie.
would be fucking peeved.
Oh, you missed my cue? So, I don't know if you can play the trumpet with regular gloves, like regular full-fingered gloves or not, because I don't know if like the rubbing makes an issue or not. I don't know. I'm not a trumpet player. So what I got you instead was fingerless gloves. So at the very least, the rest of your hand will be warm and the end of your fingers won't be. But since you need the end of your fingers to play the trumpet, I don't know. It made sense to me. They're gloves. You know, whatever. Now you got those. So since we went to go see a movie based on an August Wilson play, and since I knew we were going to be doing this friend of friend game show for my friend who is a musician, I said, what are the two most musically inclined August Wilson plays? And one of them is the very famous Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. The other one is another popular play of his called Seven Guitars. So I got you both of them in here. Ma Rainey, you're going to know, the Netflix did a movie of it with Chadwick Boseman playing the lead role. Lead role is a trumpet player. So, boom. But of the 10 August Wilson plays, these two are the ones with these are the two that have the most music in them. So that's why you're getting. Then I was like, let's go with it. Then I was like, what two movies have the best trumpet scores? Because again, I'm talking about somebody who plays the trumpet. And it's actually a really, really easy question. Two movies are Louis Malle's Elevator to the Gallows, which has a score by Miles Davis. Obviously, Thad, a big Miles fan. The other one being Chinatown, which has the great score by Jerry Goldsmith. Both of these scores have really funny stories. So the Jerry Goldsmith one, so they go to make Chinatown. They hire this different composer to do the soundtrack or the score. And if you make movies, you know that scores are usually the last thing you do. Like, the movie's already done and you're waiting for the composer to finish whatever. So you really don't have a lot of say on what it's going to sound like until you get it. So basically 9 days before the movie's supposed to premiere, before that the master and the film and everything, they get the score and they hate it. They're like, we got to get a new score. And like, what are we going to do? And Robert Evans, who was one of the most famous Hollywood producers and the producer of this movie, he actually ran Paramount Studios at the time. He said, the best composer working is Jerry Goldsmith. I'm going to give him all the money in the world. He just has to finish in 9 days. Now, if you've ever done film composing, you know that 9 days is an impossible amount of time to do a score for any movie, much less a prestige level film like Chinatown. This is one of the greatest films ever made. So Jerry Goldsmith, an excellent composer. He's been like 60 years worth of music. I think he's the guy who invented the Mission Impossible theme. You've heard his music even if you don't know yet. Yeah. So he just goes, well, you want me to do a whole score for this movie in 9 days? And Robert Evans is like, yeah, you can do it. And he goes, all right. And Robert Evans is like, so what do you need? And he goes, I'm thinking maybe trumpet. Great, we'll get a trumpet player. We'll get the best trumpet player in the world. And that's kind of how he built the score for this movie. Was he just kind of off the top of his head. And if you've ever seen Chinatown, you'll know it's one of the greatest scores in all time, of all time. And he literally did this fucker in 9 days as a favor. As for the Elevator to the Gallows, so Miles Davis was in Paris trying to get away from America, as most were doing in the 1950s. Friend of a friend of a friend was like, hey, we can get you some music. We can get you working on scores for these French films. So they got him to do Elevator to the Gallows. The story goes, he composed the entire thing watching the movie. Like he recorded to sound or recorded to screen, which is absolutely fucking nuts because no one works that way.
Yeah.
And least of all Miles fucking Davis with a band he had never played with before because it was all Paris musicians.
It's why he's Miles Davis.
I still don't believe it. I've seen the video and I still don't believe it. That's how there's video. One of the bonus features on here is you literally watch Miles Davis playing the music for the first time to the image, and that's kind of that's what they recorded. It's amazing. It's like I know Thad, you of all people don't need me to tell you how great Miles Davis is. You're the one with the jazz degree, playing the trumpet, no less. You watch.
All right, so as a mandolin player, I'm going to tell you why Miles Davis is great.
Exactly. Like I got no reason to tell you, but I was like, it will blow your fucking mind. It's some fucking incredible Hulk shit. Like it's absolutely amazing. You'll love it. And they're also really good movies, really good crime movies. So you'll dig that. We got that in here for you. What do I forget? That. Okay. We got a really cool Charlie Brown comic strip for you. It's pretty funny.
Is that a big Charlie Brown fan?
No, it's just I've got a musician joke on it. So I'll let you read it later. I don't want to make your arm to a sword.
Gatekeeping.
Yeah. that. Oh, so as you may know, every time I do one of these friend of a friend game shows with a musician friend, because I have so many friends that are musicians, I try to make sure to include source paper, staff paper, excuse me.
Is that the one that like tears off? It's got the little serrated. Because that stuff is nice.
I think this is the serrated one. I don't remember. But I also know I have to distinguish each one because I imagine you have more than one staff paper. So I put a little note on here. Kayla, if you'd like to read that for the class and tell them what it says.
From the Book of Revelations, Apostle Killer Mike. I'm a rider and a provider, and I don't tolerate ho shit.
Boom! That way, it's stickered on there too. I put it on there hard as fuck so you can't take it off. But that way, when you're like, because I'm sure you got a bunch of staff notebooks, staff paper. So this way, when you're like, oh, I'm looking for the one, you can tell like, yo, get me the Killer Mike one. And they're like, which one's that? You'll know. One of my favorite all-time rap quotes. It's like words I live by. A rider and provider, and I don't tolerate ho shit. Because I don't. Anyway. Kaylee's like, are we done now? Got you this great thing of Woodrow Wilson. No real reason, because I think it's hilarious. And I had a really nice frame to put it in.
And you had green paper to get rid of?
I have lime green paper I'm still getting rid of. God, I fucking hate my brother.
One day. Did he get you new lime green paper?
No, he did not. And I told him it'll be a fucking problem if he does.
Hands.
On site. My brother, because everyone thinks getting me stuff in lime green is funny, even though I tell people not to do it. Very serious. Do not get me shit in lime green. My brother bought me 7 reams of lime green paper.
That is the most like brother shit.
Oh my God. Guess who thought it was the funniest thing ever? My brother. Of course he fucking did. It's been 8 years and I'm still going through all that paper. That's how much paper 7 reams
I almost got you a lime green skull from Target and then realized that like it might be my skull next.
Yeah,
like,
it would be. Yeah, I can't stand it. It drives me nuts. But Todd, of course, thinks it's hilarious. So that's why, in case you're curious, how come I always get stuff from Gary? It's in lime green. It's because I'm trying to get rid of all this lime green shit that I have, because it drives me nuts. I think we only have 2 more things in here for you. Being a big trumpet player, I had to make sure to get you a trumpet album. He listens to vinyl, of course. So we went to the Jazz Record Center.
It is what jazz sounds the best on.
Yeah, 100% agree.
It's the crackly, like,
that warmth.
It adds something.
You feel like you're hearing the instrument, not the dots. 100% agree. But I went to the Jazz Record Center on 28th between 7th and 6th. And we went and got you an album by the great Clifford Brown. Clifford Brown is probably one of my all-time favorite musicians. He's probably he might be my favorite trumpet player, present company excluded.
But is he as good as that is?
He might have been. So Clifford Brown is one of the great tragedies, of jazz music of all time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I should have set you up better for that. I'm sorry. He died in a car crash at 27 years old. His wife was driving the car, and they were going over the Pennsylvania Turnpike, which, if you know the Pennsylvania Turnpike at all, it's one of the most treacherous roads to go. There's cliff edges. It's nuts.
Really?
It's literally like it should not be a road. I've driven on it myself. Clifford Brown's also from Delaware.
A part of the 27 Club.
He is a part of the 27 Club. He was famous for getting like several musicians off drugs.
Nice.
He got Dizzy Gillespie off heroin. Like, I think it was
No
heroin.
small feat.
No small feat. He was really like everybody. Like, he was everybody's favorite person in jazz. And because it's only the good ones that this kind of stuff happens to.
Yeah.
There's a really famous song that Dad knows very well called "I Remember Clifford," or "I Remember Brownie," which is sometimes referred to as, because his nickname was Brownie. And so Clifford Brown's always lovingly remembered for that. He only had a very few handful of albums, and Thad and I have talked about him ad nauseum. The other reason he's a big fan of him is because he is from Delaware. I am from Delaware, and we don't have a lot of musicians from Delaware, so we got to rep the good ones when we have it.
Yeah.
This is the Memorial album, which is basically the album of songs that would eventually have been a Blue Note album, but he died before he did the album, so they were like, we've got all these other songs that he did and basically put out. It's got great people on it. Gigi Grease, Charlie Rouse is one of the all-time greats. Lou Donaldson, who just passed, he's on here as well. It's an all-time classic. It's got songs on here I mean, Dida is one of the all-time greats. It's on here. We got that in here for you. Last but not least, I got you something very, very important. I'm going to put the bag down. That's how important it is. Now, I don't know, Kaylee, if you know Ishmael Reeves.
Oh, yeah, he calls me at home.
Ishmael Reeves is one of the great instrument makers here in New York City. And I happen to know him pretty well. And so I told him, I'm doing this video for my friend who's a trumpet player.
Do you know him through Kat?
No, I don't.
Does
But
Kat
Kat
know
says
him?
hi.
Hi, Kat.
I don't know if Kat knows him. But I said, Ishmael Reed, I'm doing this video for my friend who's a trumpet player. I want to get him something nice. I want to get him a trumpet. Ishmael Reeves says, I got you. So he didn't have a case.
Is that
I got
a
you a little
trumpet?
box, and it is
Paper.
a trumpet.
You know what? We've contributed to New York City. Oh, here we go. We're doing it.
Fuck it. I feel very proud of that joke.
Yeah,
I ran
it's a
that
good-
one a long way.
Yeah.
Yep. I got you a dollar store trumpet, but real rap. You know what's gonna happen? Because
What?
I've already foreseen it. That you're gonna be in the studio working on some song or whatever the fuck. And you're gonna be like, fuck, we
Does it
need
make
something.
noise?
I'm assuming it does. It had better for all the money it costs.
That whole dollar.
That whole dollar. But I'm convinced you're gonna be in the studio, Thad, and you're gonna have this box of shit there because you never got around to get rid of it. And then you'll be like, we need something, and you're gonna accidentally play this thing, and that's gonna be the hit record. I'm convinced of it. Nothing can talk me out of it. So I know you're a trumpet player. I got you a trumpet.
It's a good joke.
Thank you very much. I'm very proud of it.
Credit where credit is due.
Thank you. I feel very good about that joke. Now
Is
all
the answer Coltrane?
no. Now all of that stuff here. Lean back over here. Sorry. I'll be fine. All right.
We're good. It's
We're
fine.
good. We're good. It's not going anywhere.
Don't ask questions.
No.
Just get in the car.
All of that stuff could be yours, Mr. Thanddnes Palmer, if and only if Kaylee can answer this one question.
You know, this is a very unique position where I could intentionally, on purpose, answer this question wrong and see what happens.
Well, then you have to give me mandolin lessons.
That's true.
You don't want to do that. I know, like, I don't know how good of a teacher you are, but I know how bad of a student I am. So you don't, like, that's not the smoke you want, dear.
Yeah.
So the question is...
It's a good idea tonight. It's a bad
idea
idea tomorrow.
Now, since in honor of the fact that we just saw the piano lesson, which, by the way, my favorite play of all time. So now we saw the movie adaptation of my favorite play of all time.
Starring most of the Broadway cast.
Most of the Broadway cast, that's right.
And Samuel L. Jackson, who's not only just a part of the Broadway cast, but a part of the original, like...
Part of the original production at Yale. And directed and involved with all the Denzel Washington's family, so all of them. In honor of that, this question is going to be August Wilson related.
Okay.
So how familiar are you with August Wilson?
I am familiar with the piano lesson.
Just one. Okay, cool. August Wilson's famous for writing 10 plays. It is known as the Pittsburgh Cycle or the Centenary Cycle.
I wonder if there are other plays that he's written that I'm familiar with, but like...
like you've seen Fences. I give it away. But anyway, so the question is, so he wrote 10 plays. August Wilson. Now, we got you 2 of the plays. That's Seven Guitars and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. And we just got back from seeing the piano lesson.
So you got 3 of them.
So you got 3 of them. Can you name for us the other 7 August Wilson plays? Cailie Jerome Skelton, can you do it?
Yes. It's Fences.
Okay.
It's Joe Turner's Come and Gone.
Yes, a great play.
It's Two Trains Running.
Yes, it is.
It's King Hedley II.
Yes, it is.
Gem of the Ocean.
Just 2 more.
Radio Golf.
Uh-oh, can she get one more?
I'm ask you about that one later.
Radio Golf?
Yeah.
It's a good one. It's not one of his, he only wrote 7. He wrote 10 plays, but like...
But like, what is radio and golf like?
It's involved with the... It would take too long to explain. It's about the play.
And Jitney!
Woo!
Because there was an explanation.
At the end, that's right, because he started us with the explanation.
Yeah.
Congratulations! Woo!
By the way, Gary Lily didn't have the answer.
Did not have it written down in front of her at all. Nope, not at all. Don't know where that came from.
I manifested it.
Just totally thought it up on her own because that's how smart mandolin players are. They just know that shit.
Yeah. An inch deep and a mile wide in knowledge. Yeah.
An inch deep and a mile wide. I don't remember the last time I heard that shit. That's funny. Congratulations, Thanddnes Palmer. You get all that stuff. Enjoy the trumpet. I look forward to hearing you play on it. Enjoy all the other stuff too, which is actually stuff you could probably use. Maybe not the Woodrow Wilson picture, but the other stuff certainly.
He can put it on his wall and think of it fondly.
There you go. Make it the album cover.
Of the time a friend of a friend of his.
Got him some stuff he didn't ask for.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Stat. And I want to give a big round of a hand here to Miss Cailie Jerome Skelton, the Maven of the Mandolin, getting that question right. I know the lovely studio audience out here in front of the new school.
The mailbox.
The mailbox.
The rats that are in the garbage over there.
The bike. Oh, homesick over there. Yeah, the bike. Big crowd out here for the Friend of a Friend game show, as always.
Yeah.
As always. Thad, I hope you're doing good, man. You got to let me know where I'm sending this stuff. Am I dropping it off at Anyone Comics? Am I mailing it to you? We meeting in the middle? You got to pick up the ball here and let me know where we're playing. But yeah, other than that, I think that's the run of it.
I've got no more news for you.
Yeah, so we're gonna shout out here. Happy holidays! Happy holidays to you.
Holidays.
And yeah, say peace to the good people.
Peace to the good people.